Welcome to this month's PSA with Chief Burghardt. Welcome back, Chief.
Thank you.
We are recording this safety message in the month of February. And this week is a particularly recognized week as
Burn Prevention Week.
Fire Burn Prevention Week. And I believe that's nationwide.
Yes, that's my understanding.
And last month we talked about some electrical safety. And now let's let our viewers know how they can be safe with items that might burn them, and maybe also disposing of wood product ash.
Okay, sounds good. So there's a lot of things that can burn us, and especially children. They're not as aware of things that get hot in the house. So let's start with things that get hot in our house. Irons for ironing our clothes don't always have indicators so we can see if the surface. Some of those preventative measures always to make sure that they're out of the reach of children, that they're put away and their cords are wrapped up and just out of the area where anyone can get them knocked over or falling onto a smaller child would be the best way of dealing with that. Fireplaces, stoves, ovens, ranges, portable cooktops, any of those cooking devices that get hot, we can't always tell when they're warm. So electric stoves typically have indicators, especially the smooth tops will have either a glowing ring where that burner was or an orange or a red indicator somewhere on the cooking surface to let us know that they're still warm, but not all of them. Gas stoves typically do not have indicators. So as soon as you shut off the gas burner and move your pot away, although it is still very, very hot, nothing to let you know that it's hot. So how do we prevent the burns? It's always to treat them like they are hot. Teach our children to always stay away. For our kids, don't go tugging on mommy's jacket, asking for a cookie or asking for a snack. We should always keep a safe distance away from them, assuming that they might be hot. With ovens, it's not leaving the door open on the oven to let the heat back out of it. The inside of the door can be very hot. So the basic prevention is just to keep people away from them. Anyone who has special needs or smaller children who don't understand, it's just staying away from any of those things that can get warm.
And with children and cords, you want to make sure that the cords are properly stored away so that they're not tripping and then pulling the appliance on them. And I'm thinking of like a curling iron or a flat iron or things like that, and preventing those burns. If someone should get unfortunately burned, what is their course of action?
Yeah, so the cords, keeping those maintained and not draping down in the bathroom so that a kid can't tug on them is obviously the best way to prevent a burn from happening. But when burns do occur, whether it be from a hot metal surface, from cooking, from an iron, maybe even from a fireplace, the first thing you want to do is cool it, rapidly cool it. So if you have cool running water available, you're inside of your house, run cool water over it and stop the burning process. You don't necessarily want to put ice on top of it right away. Ice can provide another burn, a thermal burn just on the colder extreme. So cooling it without making it too cold is the first step. After that, we want to make sure that we cover it up and keep any infection out. We don't want to put something on it too early. So if you don't cool the burn and you put something like Vaseline or Neosporin on immediately, that can actually insulate it and keep the burning process happening under the upper layers of skin. So getting it cooled is first, and then getting any treatment after that. So if there is any kind of condition where that skin might not heal immediately, it's seeking medical attention. It may be going to the doctor's office, maybe going to an urgent care clinic, or if it's a big enough area of your body or something like the face or the airway, you need to call 911 and get seen immediately.
Great. You talked about having wood fires, and disposing of ash is always a job, a process, and disposing of it properly is so important, especially now we really have more of a drier condition outside. You're carrying the ashes out and going to either your burn barrel or putting them where you shouldn't.
Yes, this winter has been a very unique winter in that it is very, very dry outside. Typically we have a grass fire season, and that is from when the snow melts off in the spring all the way through until we get very dark green, thick grass in late April, early May. Because we don't have any snowpack on the ground, grass fire season from fall has not yet ended. There's been plenty of large grass fires, cornfield fires that have burned all the way through winter. So people need to be very, very careful with what they do with ashes when they're taking them outside. So when you take ash out of the fireplace, that always needs to be put into a metal or an earthenware, like a clay type of pot to cool off. If you put it in plastic or in a garbage bag, that can start on fire. So it needs to stay in one of those containers, covered up to keep the oxygen out of it so it can't keep smoldering. Ideally, you add water to this so that you can add some water, stir it up, let it sit. Next day, add a little water, stir it up, let it sit to make sure it is completely cold. After you know that it is completely soaked down, completely cold, there are no embers remaining in it, then you can take it somewhere like the recycling center. So the City of Hartford offers a recycling center for like limbs, brush, tree limbs, but they also take things like ash, and that is by far the safest way to dispose of ash.
We don't want people dumping those ashes in the way back part of their yard or maybe out in the farmer's field, especially again with these dry conditions, but you just shouldn't do it, period.
Yeah, the wind can kick that up at any given point. So if you just scoop the ashes out, put them in a container to go dump into the edge of the field, underneath pine trees, all that is extremely flammable, especially right now. And any bit of wind over 4 or 5 miles an hour can cause those embers to reignite and then start an area on fire. So absolutely something to avoid.
Well, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And to our viewers, as always, thank you for watching.